Canelo Alvarez is in between a rock and a hard place. In this video, I will explain why. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. Now, 2 fights came on, and I think they're important when you analyze the career of Canelo Alvarez. Now, a quick introduction. I said this before Canelo fought Bivol, and I'm standing on it 10 toes down because I feel it even more. The great Ego Stradamus strikes again. So I posted this. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter. Canelo was hoping that his countryman, fellow Mexican from Mexico, Gilberto Soto Ramirez, he was hoping that he beat Dmitry Bivol so he and his fan base would have a cop-out so as to not rematch Bivol, the guy who beat him in May of this year and should be considered for potential fighter of the year honors, right? So Canelo was hoping that Zurdo would beat Bivol and then he can have a way out. But that's not what happened yesterday. In fact, it was quite the opposite, because we know in life, it's not about, especially boxing, but life as well. It's not about what you hope. Hope floats. All that hope-ish don't work in the sport of boxing. Do you have what it takes to beat the guy or girl in front of you? Period. Because I watched the fight. It was from Abu Dhabi, and Dmitry Bivol made it look just as easy as the Canelo fight. The only difference was you had Gilberto Soto Ramirez, who was 6'2.5", or he is 6'2.5". So Bivol had to be cool, you know, and he had to be more calculated, whereas Canelo was shorter than Zurdo is. But either way, he dominated both guys, you know, he dominated both of the fighters. Another thing, when Canelo beat Sergey Kovalev at 175, the light heavyweight division, to me, I always told you on my chats and my lives and whatnot, that I thought Canelo Kovalev, the fight looked FAF. The Canelo man fans said, no, but Boxing Ego, you're hating. And then when he lost to Dmitry Bivol, they said Canelo was too small. Canelo's not a true 175-pounder. This is what the Canelo man fans do. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. When Canelo knocks out a light heavyweight champion, right, who had faced twice Andre Ward, twice he had faced Jean Pascal, etc., he's knocking him out. I said the fight looked FAF, but the Canelo fans didn't agree with me. They didn't agree. So he has a belt, then he later relinquished, but he did the dang thing. Now people are saying he's too small for 175 after he lost to Bivol. But he was already a champion in that division, so that doesn't really work. And then you say the Canelo win over Kovalev, nothing was wrong with it, and it looked authentic. We looked yesterday at the Dmitry Bivol fight with Gilberto Soto Ramirez. Look how big Zurdo looked in the fight, and Bivol, he seemingly had no problems with him. And look how big he looks. So he could have rehydrated over 200 pounds, 190 pounds. I mean, I don't know, because they didn't have an unofficial weigh-in. But he's clear. Look at him. He's clearly much, much bigger than Dmitry Bivol is. And Bivol, using his style and skills, destroyed Zurdo and made that 44-0 record look very inflated. So it's looking very bad for Canelo Alvarez given these circumstances. He beat Kovalev. They said he's a true champion, multi-division, 4-division champion or whatever they said. And then I said the fight looked FAF. Canelo fans disagreed, of course. And then he loses to Bivol. Now they're saying he's too small. But this is the same guy who said he wanted to fight at heavyweight and said he would fight Usyk. So all those Canelo excuses fall on deaf ears. You can't tell me you want to fight at heavyweight, fight someone, a gold medalist like Usyk, and then you're complaining that you are too small, or your fan base is pandering and complaining that you're too small for Dmitry Bivol, who, again, you look at him next to Zurdo, And he's definitely not the biggest light heavyweight out there, right? So this age is very bad for Canelo. I say, if we're being honest, Dmitry Bivol looked to be at a bigger weight deficit and disparity against an undefeated 44-0 Zurdo than Canelo over a twice knocked out Sergey Kovalev. So what I mean is, I'm not talking about just their heights and how, like, height is one thing. I'm talking about the actual mass when they rehydrate. Canelo is shorter, but he has the build, a stocky build, right? So you look at the size of his arms and Kovalev's arms and stuff, and he has a thick build, pause, but he's not that. Kovalev didn't look like monstrous. He just looked a lot taller than him. And they said this fight was at a rehydration clause. So he taxed Kovalev. On top of that, Kovalev was coming off of a long layoff, or excuse me, a quick turnaround instead of a long layoff with Anthony Yarde. So he had a tough fight where he almost got stopped, and Buddy McGirt threatened to throw the towel in on Kovalev, and then he's quickly turning around fighting Canelo Alvarez. The Canelo fans are saying, oh, but Canelo, he's too small. I mean, does he look too small? Like, if you just looked the picture, you didn't know who was at what weight. Does Sergey Kovalev look to be this big? I know he's a big puncher, but he's not, like, when they rehydrated, who knows if Canelo even weighed more, especially if there was a rehydration clause only on Kovalev. Who knows what Canelo weighed, right? Versus Bivol, he fighting this dude that looked like a heavyweight almost, and he's 6'3", 6'2 and a half, 6'3". So Bivol has actual skills. Credit to him. He did the thing with two fighters, Zurdo, and before that, Canelo Alvarez. Again, this looks bad because we know Canelo wanted Bivol to lose so he didn't have to fight him. But now the haters got to go back to the drawing board because that's not at all what happened. And now Canelo should be pressured to see him. Now, another thing that was special about yesterday is you had a super middleweight who looked sensational, and that was David Morrell Jr., which Canelo's undisputed in his weight class, and he has the WBA version of a belt, and he should be Canelo's mandatory. So you got Benavidez fighting Caleb Plant. So the winner of that will probably be the highest ranked person within the WBC because they ordered that fight. So let's say Benavidez beats Caleb Plant, because I think I looked at the odds and they said he's the favorite. So Canelo, he's in a bad spot. Bad news. He's surrounded. You got David Morrell looking spicy, and that's the WBA, basically the mandatory. Then you got the WBC ordering Plant versus Benavidez. So the winner of that, if it's Benavidez who's the favorite, then he's going to have to fight Benavidez. If he had 168, the pressure would be to fight Benavidez or to fight against David Morrell Jr., right? You also have a good fight with Jamal Charlo. He's been kind of quiet, so I don't know exactly where he's been, but either way, it's not looking good for Canelo. And then at 75, Bivol looks sensational as well. So as you guys can see, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Boxing Ego, the best in the business. It's not looking good for Canelo because he's being surrounded. It's like those scenes in a movie where the bad guy is in a warehouse trying to do a drug exchange with the briefcase, and then he looks out each window. There's SWAT on the roof. This window and this door is blocked. They got police, they got the SWAT team, and the building is completely surrounded. And then you have one weapon that holds 8 shots. And how are you gonna get out of this? You're in the middle, you're in the scope, and the building is surrounded by SWAT and a bunch of cop cars, and you don't have enough ammunition. That's what it looks like with Canelo. I told you this was coming. Now you guys can see it. Subscribe. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.